Hello and welcome to the M0OGY review of the new President Grant 2 Premium CB radio transceiver. This is the third incarnation of this radio. The very first one came out around 18 months ago, which I showed you and reviewed back then. Then there was a second version called the 1.05 that had a few changes. One of those changes was the new AM and single sideband added onto the mode switch on the UK FM modes. I did have one of those here, which was on loan to me and was given away in a Prize for Radio User magazine back then. So I have tried both previous versions of this radio, and now I'm going to do an in-depth review of this latest model. Apparently the latest model has got rid of a few of the minor issues with the earlier ones. One is the what's known as the phantom mic here, which on some radios, but not all, there was a signal present and the S meter went up and down at times. There's a few other features. We'll look at the rear panel. This one's got an added heat sink. One of the good features, for those who wish to use it in export mode, you can indeed still use it on the UK FM channels off the front panel, where in the previous versions it wasn't available. So that's a big bonus point for many users here in the United Kingdom. Right, I'll have a look around the front panel. We'll do a look round of the radio first, then in part 2 video over the coming days and weeks I'll use it on air, compare it against the original Grant 2 ASC and maybe one or two older radios and just see how it performs on air. That's the main test, as to look at the radio. It's not changed too much. Build quality wise, I would give it a good 8.5 out of 10. All the controls are extremely tight, they're wobble free, you know, good quality. There's no apparent marks or scratches on it as it's come out of the box, so yeah, it's certainly an 8.5 out of 10 on build quality. Anyway, looking across the front panel, we've got the volume and squelch. The squelch control also doubles as the ASC control, which is an automatic squelch feature which President patented. Below, 6-pin mic socket. Moving across, these are all dual feature controls, by the way, push button. You've got the mode selection, lock, Roger bleep, key beeps, SWR, which it's got a built-in SWR meter on the bottom bar graph. Scan facility, you've got A&L, noise blanker and a high cut filter. Dual watch feature, channel 9 and 19. Vox, which is a voice activated microphone, and you can set the levels on that control also. Memory control, mic gain, it's just got a high and low feature. It would be nicer to have a control knob that's varying, but it's just got either high or low. Local DX, you've got dimmer, which also acts as different colours. There's only two colours, green and orange. And then you've got the F control at the top, which is that one. That basically, when you turn the radio on, you hold that in and it alters the multi-norm bands for the various EU countries. Moving across, channel selection, good solid click, and below it you've got the clarifier that just works on the receive. So that's the front panel. Just looking at what comes with a radio, you've got the ever familiar green and black box it comes in, well packaged. Stop microphone, which has up and down channel keys on it. You've got a couple of bags of parts, you know, mic holder. Oh, some thumb screws. Unit N 3-pin power lead. Mounting bracket, which is zinc and yellow passivate. Nothing real special there, just standard fare. Moving across, large president sticker and a multilingual handbook. Various languages: English, French, Spanish, Polish, German, etc. So the handbook. The radio comes with a 2+3 year president warranty, and that's about it. So that's a look at the front panel, the controls, what comes in the box, and I'll come back in a moment and I'll have a look at the rear panel. This is the rear panel. Taking a look on the left hand side, very large heatsink to cool the finals, where the original Grant didn't have a heatsink of any form on the rear. Apparently when the radio is in export mode it will make up to 20 watts. I'm not too sure if I'd want to push a radio that far, but that's the rumours. Anyway, looking across the back panel, we've got the SO239 UHF connector. The plug on this side here, that's the Vox microphone. The external speaker socket, which is a 3.5mm, and then below there's the 3-pin President stroke Unit N power socket. So that's the rear panel, and for the serial number I'll show you that in a moment, where you can find that. There's a serial number on the left hand side of the rear heatsink, so that's where you can find the serial number on this latest version. Right, I've got the original Grant 2 ASC on your left hand side, and on the right hand side there's the latest Grant 2 Premium. So what I'll do, I'll have a look inside them both and see what differences there are, and if it's a different circuit board, and just go from there. Taking a look inside both radios, the later premium version is on the right hand side, as can be defined with a heatsink on the rear, and the earlier one is on your left. We're looking at the premium, the new circuit board. Its part number is PB 372AA1-4. The earlier radio is PB 370AA1-4. So indeed they do have different, well, should I say it's got a revised circuit board. If we look at the back on the new one, you can see where the coils are to your right. There's quite a large blank area. The old one is much different at that rear end, I'm sure you'll agree. And looking at the circuit board, it looks very well made. Surface mount technology, as is the old board obviously. There's your front jumper wire, which is snip for export mode, as in all President radios, to be fair. Yeah, looks okay. This radio's got a Murata filter, which is a Japanese filter fitted, so I'm just hoping it will receive better. I'd love it to have a really good noise blanker circuit. Certainly the Oda radio and any other CB radios or 10 meter radios I own certainly can't get rid of PLT device with a noise blanker circuit as the Yaesu FT840 does. I'm hoping that this does, but we're not too sure at this stage as I've not fired the radio up yet. So that's a brief look inside of the latest radio and indeed the previous radio. So there is some differences. It's certainly a whole new circuit board in there. Thanks for watching the preview of the Grant 2 Premium. In the next video, in part 2, I'll pit the new radio against the earlier Grant 2 ASC and just see what differences there are, especially on SSB, if any. Looking within the radio, there's certainly a new circuit board inside. The design of the radio and the external features are exactly the same, other than it's got a new heatsink on the rear. Certainly looks okay at these early stages. Whether the Murata filter makes a big difference or it's very clever marketing, I'm not too sure, but we'll find out. The proof will be in the pudding, and when I do some on-air tests both locally and hopefully on some DX contacts. So on that note, thanks for watching the video. Best 7.3 from Dave, M0OGY. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.